What's going on, y'all? It's your host, June Archer here. The Winner Circle motivates you with another amazing show on deck. My brother, we have known each other for about 25 years. We started out in the music business, and he has gone on to be an amazing executive manager, but now he is an amazing talent doing so many amazing things. New show coming up on VH1 called Family Reunion. Please welcome to the show my brother Cisco. Cisco, what's going on, brother?
What's up, June? Man, that was a great introduction, man. Damn. I know
Man,
how to follow
listen.
that up.
Oh man, listen. I gotta say, brother, from where we came to where we are now, you are the amazing businessman, talent. How do you manage to keep such a balance with all the projects that you have going on and being in front of the camera? How do you maintain that balance?
Yeah, it's challenging. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of things fall to the wayside sometimes when you are juggling a lot. Sometimes my personal life suffers as a result. You know what I mean? So I think balancing all those things and then still, trying to be a great father to my two children and and everything else. I think that's really even more challenging. That's really what the challenge is. But at the end of the day, I think if you set your priorities right and you say to yourself, well, I'm doing all of these things to create a way and create a future for my children and the people that are important to me in my life, then everything else will kind of fall into place. You know what I mean?
And your background is music.
Yeah.
I want you to share what were some of the lessons that you learned in music that you brought onto the television side that you use now to kind of negotiate deals, to be in front of the camera, to be behind the camera, to negotiate deals with production companies, etc. What did you learn? What was that swag that you got from music that you just kind of parlayed that into television?
Well, I think with music, you know, I was very much into the art of it. That's always what kind of interests me. I never really went into making music for money, which was not a smart thing to do at that time. It was never my goal. So a lot of my publishing stuff I didn't handle properly. Like the split sheets, June, you know about that. And in fact, I've done some records, I think, with some of your artists and work with some of your producers and stuff as well back in the days. And, there was a lot of things I would just neglect to handle from a business standpoint within the music business. So as time went on and I started realizing some of those records started getting placed on albums and on TV shows and stuff, and I wasn't receiving any residuals, I realized at that point I was losing a lot of money because there was other guys that I was working with that they were making records for artists and albums and TV shows, and they were getting big checks consistently, whether they were working on new projects or not. And I always had to stay hustling because I wasn't receiving any of that royalty money because I didn't really care to understand how it worked and how it could benefit me down the road. So transitioning over to being a talent on television, I knew what not to do. You know what I mean? Because of my experiences in music, I knew that I had to make sure that every deal I did, I benefited the most from those deals. I knew to when I went into television, um, also as an actor, but also as a music producer, I knew that, okay, if there's an opportunity within these scenes for me to add some music, I'll talk to Mona or I'll talk to the EPs and say, hey, you know what, I got a great idea for a song that I can add to the scene. I benefited in the sense where I realized, instead of just focusing on the money that's in hand, figure out a way to capitalize and monetize on every aspect of how you can make money when you're in a situation like being on television. So, that business acumen was developed through trial and error and mistakes that, I made in the music business.
And trial and error is how we learn. So I definitely respect that. Now, you were member of Creep Squad, and things transpired, and you got into the celebrity boxing match game, and had a boxing match with our brother
Peter,
Peter
yeah.
Guns. But you have now embraced that, and you're continuing to pick up that torch, man. What would be your ultimate celebrity boxing matchup?
That's a great question. I wanted Lamar, man.
Mm.
Shout out to Lamar Odom. Shout out to Damon Feldman. We spoke to him this morning. We got another call in a little while. I think we're going live as well to discuss some things. But I wanted Lamar because Lamar and I started like together at the same time. I believe his first fight was I was on the undercard of his first fight. You know what I mean? When I fought Peter Guns, and I think since then he's might have fought one or two more times, and and he's just gotten better and better, and he just looked good in his movement. And I think size wise, it would be like the best match out there, as far as celebrity boxing is concerned, because we're both tall and lean. We were being trained by the same trainer, so that to me was the fight that I wanted. But I don't think Lamar wants to take the fight. I think it was put on the table. From what I was told, it was put on the table to him, and he said he doesn't, he don't want to get in the ring and mix it up with me. So by default, the fight's going to somebody else now. So we'll see what happens.
All right, well, we're gonna see. If Lamar don't want that smoke, somebody else will step up
Yeah, man. Shout out to
and
Lamar,
take that
man.
challenge.
But, I'll tell you this one thing. And when I was training, we were shooting a promo video at a boxing gym in Atlanta, and I was hitting some pads. I was doing some pad work, but it was like a promo shot. So the guys telling me, the producer's like, "Hey, we need you to throw a combination, but at the end of it, throw a really hard right hand." So my speed wasn't really great, but one thing I had is this heavy right hand. So I throw 1, 2, 3, and then boom, right? I throw a right hand, and you could it really shook the gym. Everybody was like, "Whoa." So Lamar comes over to me afterwards. He goes, "Yeah, man, you got a lot of power in that right hand, but you ain't fast enough." And I'm just like, and he just walks off. And I said, okay, So I remember that incident also made me feel like, okay, man, why don't we go figure this one out, man? Since you sizing me up,
exactly.
So shout out to Lamar Odom, man. Why don't you reconsider, man? Let's do it in March.
Yeah, Lamar. Shout out to Lamar, man. He's doing some great things on his end.
Absolutely.
It would just be great for the culture, man. It's so
Definitely.
fun. But I want to ask you this, Cisco. What has the discipline in boxing taught you for business? Because we talk about the music side of it, but just the discipline of what you had to go through let's just talk about the Peter Guns fight. Like, what did it teach you about yourself to just be there training, working out, and being dedicated to this art form?
Well, it actually taught me that too, actually. Look, I don't make a secret of it. I didn't really take the fight with Peter very serious. I didn't train well for it. I trained a little bit. I didn't put a lot of training into it. I didn't put the effort into the dieting and everything else I should have going into that. So, and then I had a lot going on personally. I just wasn't in a good mental space at the time, just dealing with, family issues and stuff. So I definitely took that situation for granted. I was like, it's Peter. Like, he can't, Peter and I have tussled so many times in real life as brothers that I'm like, he can't do nothing. He ain't gonna be able to hurt me or whatever. And so I went into that ring that day unprepared. I really did. Meanwhile, Peter Guns had Roy Jones Jr. training him,
Right.
And to the point where Roy Jones Jr. was making videos on Instagram talking shit to me, saying, "Yo, Cisco, when I'm done with Peter, he gonna beat you up and all this." And I reposted it myself because I was flattered. I'm like, "This is Roy Jones Jr." So with all that being said, like I said, I didn't prepare properly for it, and I went in, and I still won the fight, but I did realize that what, I gotta take it. I really gotta take the opportunity to take this serious. And I'm only continuing to do the celebrity boxing mainly to make sure it keeps me in shape. It forces me to go to the gym. It forces me to take care of myself. It forces me to, eat right and not party too much. And, and I think doing all of that, putting that strict regimen into practice for these months at a time will ultimately carry over into my, business world, because it'll force me to, just have a clearer mind, you know what I mean, and be more focused and just be, more strict about everything that I'm doing, even outside of work hours, man. So I think the best of me will also come out, in other ways, and be able to perform better as a businessman, because I'll just have I have a sharper edge, you know what I mean, because I have to stay in shape, so being in shape physically is only possible when you keep your mind sharpened and you keep your mind clear and focused and free of stress and distractions. So boxing will do that to you. And that's why I told Damon, I said, find me the best competitor this time. I don't want to fight somebody that's just like another celebrity that's just looking to go box and, do it for fun, whatever. So find me somebody that, even if they're famous, that can fight, because I want to rise to the occasion. I want to be pushed. You know what I mean?
And that's important, right? Because you're only going to get better by attempting to practice with, work out, compete against the best. And that we
Yeah. I
learned
mean,
that from
you
Kobe
gotta
Bryant,
feel like,
right?
hey, this
Yeah,
dude got the potential to kick my ass. You know what I'm saying? If I don't take it serious, I never felt that with Peter. There's no disrespect,
right.
because Peter, hey, look, he came in prepared, man.
He
I'm in the
looked,
ring like impressed.
he
He's
looked
like,
good. He
Peter's
looked
in there
good.
and he starts moving at some point, like Roy Jones, like pop, 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 and I'm like, whoa, I just wasn't expecting the movement. He was slipping
Right.
some punches. I was like, he really took it serious. So yeah, I in order for me to raise my game, I gotta accept challenges. And
Right.
I mean, not a challenge in terms of somebody else wanting to fight me. I mean, a challenge that I know is a challenge for me. Like I said,
Right.
well, this is going to be a big challenge for me, because if I don't get my shit together and I don't train properly, I could lose, and I could lose bad, and I don't want to be embarrassed. You know what I mean?
Definitely. You stepped on the scene, loving hip hop, New York, loving hip hop, Atlanta. And now we have the
Love and Hip Hop
opportunity,
Hollywood.
loving hip hop, Hollywood.
Shout out to Tia
Uh,
Marie. Yeah,
doing some
definitely.
amazing things on television, despite what people want to say about how things go down and how they've happened. You've managed to really create a name persona for yourself, brother. Super proud of you.
Thank you, man.
And now you guys are back with Family Reunion coming on VH1. Tell me about this show, how it even transpired.
I didn't want to do Family Reunion. Like I said, I was just dealing with a lot, family issues. I had just gone through a separation from my wife, which was really probably the most challenging experience of my life, not being around my children every day. Shout out to my babies, Tiana, who's probably, going to see this, and my son, Junior. But yeah, like I'm really family oriented, man, and the family dynamic, my children, it just means everything to me. So not having access to my family and my children, especially every day, was really, really my biggest challenge, man. And it threw me off my game. I didn't want to work. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to kind of soak in depression and just not, give my all into anything. So, shout out to my guy, Daniel. He's an executive over at VH1, because, I just remember him calling me, because, the producers were calling me, writers were calling me. Everybody's like, yo, you got to do this. And I was just like blowing it off. And shout out to my guy, Daniel Wiener over at VH1, who called me. He was like, yo, bro, like, do this, man. You can use this as an opportunity to kind of get away and just heal and start the healing process. And forget about it being a job that you don't want to do. Look at it as an experience that can help you. And when he said that, it really gave me a new perspective. So coming into the season of Family Reunion, I didn't know much about it because I didn't watch the first season with Ray J and them. I had no idea what the premise of the show was, but it was really good because the show is really about men facing all of the conflict you've got with anybody that happens to be on the show. And
Right.
ironically, I had conflict with like everybody that was on that. At one point in time or another, I had unresolved issues with so many folks. It was about 17 people in the cast. I must have had issues with about 10. You know what I mean? So
Right.
it was just like every day I'm waking up and the producer's like, I remember, you got to go into this and this, this person gonna be there and whatever is, you gotta. They forced me to work through my issues with everybody that was there in a non-violent way. That was the thing I was told from day one. Hey, we're not here for that. You're not here for that. You're here to be better. Talk through these issues. Try to, better yourself by resolving these issues, verbally and having conversations. Really get to the root of them and figure out resolutions. And for me, that was a challenge because I'm the nicest guy in the world, but everybody knows that me having a temper, sometimes my buttons are easily pushed and I'll resort to just, some physical shit because I don't want to deal with the issue. I just want to get to the action of it, So I really took that into practice coming into the season of Family Reunion. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try my best not to fight anybody or nothing like that, or not dive on nobody, nothing crazy. I'm really gonna try to, talk through my issues so I can become a better person. And and it was a journey, man. It was a journey. It was an experience, probably one of the best experiences of my life, because I really got an opportunity to learn about myself and grow as an individual. Because I forced myself to just stay true to just trying to talk through things and be as honest as possible with myself and everybody else that I was, having conflict with.
Now, in those moments, you talk about battling depression. What what were you leaning on in those moments? And you're going through separation with your wife. You're not seeing the kids. Is it something spiritual? Is it something religious? What were you leaning on in those moments? Because yeah, Daniel was helping you, but for those who are struggling with addiction, depression, mental health, how can you help themselves by sharing what you leaned on in those moments?
Well, it's a great question. I think the biggest challenge we face as men is our ego,
Pride
because
and ego.
our
I'm gonna add pride to that too. Pride and ego
right.
is
Well,
what
it's
gets.
almost synonymous in a sense,
Yeah.
yeah. Because one kind of feeds the other and vice versa. Pride and ego. Uh, you know, I as probably many other men, do feel very, you know, alpha. Feel very much, I just feel a lot of machismo. Where I feel like I don't need anybody. Whatever challenges are in my life, I could just deal with it on my own. So I'll draw back and I'll stay in a dark room and just sleep all day, or, just not answer my phone. I went for a period of time. I didn't answer my phone for like 2 months. Literally nobody. I just didn't want to talk to anybody. I just turned my phone off for like, I just, because I was hurting so bad, I didn't want to share with anybody. I didn't want anyone to see me vulnerable, see me weak, see me less than myself. So my answer was just hide from everybody, stay away from everybody. Just don't let anybody see me hurt, and I'll get through this on my own.
Right.
I'm a strong man. I can overcome this on my own, and that's the biggest mistake that you can make when you're struggling with being sad, unhappy, or depression, or just challenges in your life. You can't handle it on your own. You know, you need to talk to somebody that you trust, or even go get counseling, or one of the things that helped me was picking up the Bible, and actually reading the Bible verses and trying to interpret things there and relate them to my life, seeking God, humbling myself, getting on my knees and praying every day, multiple times a day, and just and praying to God to help me, to heal me, to push, to clear my path and navigate it moving forward. So those are some of the things that helped me, man. Just coming to the realization that, like, I need people. Like, I need my mom. I need my brother. Shout out to my brother Johnny and everybody. Like, I need my family. And, so certain people kind of, once I was open and honest about, hey, I'm going through this, depression and stuff like that. A lot of people in my family just, kind of extended their hand, like, yo, we got you, man. Just, come over. Let me make you some dinner. Let me, talk to me, whatever. Like I said, between those things and God definitely, creating a new path for me. And then, the opportunity with the show to go and do this show that was just right on time. It was just something I needed. I really needed the experience of going to the island of Coronado and just being there with a bunch of people that I didn't know. Some people I didn't like. A lot of them didn't like me. And for the most part, we wound up, becoming really good friends at the end, because I really had to grow myself. I had to say to myself, I want to be better. I want to be more mature, and and just talk through my issues. So, sometimes God has a way, man, of taking you places and putting you in positions to go through things to only make you better for tomorrow. So, no matter how bad your circumstance or situation is, I always tell people now, like, always see past your nose. Always see past the tip of your nose. There's a brighter road you know, down the hill. You just got to get there. And sometimes going through these things in life will just build you and make you stronger and prevent you from making them same mistakes in the future, so you can live a better life. So yeah, man, that's it's just been a journey.
No, that's dope. You mentioned your mom, you mentioned your brother Johnny. The show is called The Winner Circle. Cisco, who are those individuals in your circle that help make this journey more palatable? Like, your mom is there, Johnny's there, your kids are there. Who else? How important is it to make sure that your circle, your village is somewhat, it may not always be positive, right? But it's a village that will support you when you're down. It will celebrate you when you're up. How important is that, and who's in your circle?
You know, I've, you know, I'm fortunate, man. I got some pretty good friends. You know, believe it or not, man. You know, the Creep Squad. You know what I mean? Like, people don't know or realize that's not a camera thing. That's a real brotherhood. You know, we are really really close. Me and Rich Dollars and Peter Guns, we're really family. We really talk every day. You know, we really argue every other day. You know what I mean? Like, we really fight sometimes with each other, like, you know, but it's really, you know, we're, you know, Peter and Rich are like my brothers, really. You know, we talk all the time. I go to them now with my problems. I'll tell them what's going on. I get advice from them, you know, both of them, you know. So yeah, you know, I keep it pretty tight, man. You know, I just, my close friends, you know, guys like Peter and Rich that I've known for, like you said, guys like you, big brother June Archer, man. We've been friends, oh my God, so long, you know, and we still, you know, stay connected. What I will say is identify, I just tell people, identify, do your best to identify the good people that are in your life. Not necessarily, because it's like a big misconception. People always say, "Oh man, wealth is built in proximity," you know, and you know, if you're the richest person in the room, get out the room because everybody needs to around you needs to have money and be successful. That is true to an extent, but just because someone has money doesn't mean they're a good person. You need good people in your life too. You know, your best friend could be a guy who's, you know, works for sanitation, you know, but will hold you down and be there for you if anything goes wrong with you in your life. Hold you down and hold your children down if God forbid something happens to you. It don't always depend on other people because you feel like they got money or whatever it is that they've got going on in their life. So I don't judge people by what they've got or what they got going on. To me, that's, you know, that's just what they have in their life. What they have and what I have, you know, material, you know, material wise, bears no significance on who they are and you know and how I measure their soul. You know, so circle is super tight. You know, and the same people that show me love when I'm down, or the same people that show me love when I'm up, and vice versa. And you know, also that's the beauty of being down. Sometimes people don't want to accept it. When you down, hey, we all go down, whether it's emotionally, financially, whatever it is. The silver lining in that is you get to see who's really there for you, and you know, don't take that for granted. Really identify that. Keep that scoreboard, because when you get back up, them same people that wasn't returning your phone calls or, you know, wouldn't try to find ways or opportunities to help you out or just be there for you, them the same people that you gotta, you know that, okay, cool, I know how to treat you. And I know that if you ever come to me for anything, I ain't gonna give you nothing because you wasn't there for me. You know, so going through experiences also give me an opportunity to tighten your circle, man. And I think that's very important.
Now, we're talking about family reunion, and you talk about facing some really difficult conversations. For those who are going to tune in at the premiere of the show, what can we expect from the show, and what was the takeaway that you got? Yeah, you were able to talk to maybe Rich Dollars and Peter Guns, and shout out to them, to my brothers, and I hope to have them here to just discuss some of the same similar things. But what were some of those hard conversations that you had, or just share with us, what did you get from the experience in totality that you want people to say, you know what, if they, for the one reason I want you guys to watch the show, it's because of this?
To the one reason I would say I want you guys to watch the show is to really learn that there are different ways of resolving issues with people. You know, you don't always have to react. You know, take the time sometimes to really understand where somebody else is coming from and their perspective, even if you don't initially agree with it. Even if you wind up never agreeing with it, it's better to resolve issues as a mature adult than it is to be immature and react and do something stupid that could jeopardize your freedom or anything else. You know, so the show forced me to resolve issues in a very amicable way. because I was told the first day I get to Coronado Island, Christian, shout out to Christian, my man. If you guys ever watch any of those VH1 shows and you see a tall Asian guy just jumping in a fight and breaking things up, that's Christian. He's the head of the security company that runs like the whole VH1. Like, so all the security from all those shows report to him. He's like the top dude. First day I get to Coronado Island, Christian, Cisco, let me talk to you. He sits me down. I said, what's up, big bro? What's going on, man? What's up? He said, yeah, cool, all that. What's up? But check this out. What you're not going to do is fight while you here with nobody. You're going to have to face a lot of demons while you out here. Everybody got a bone with you to pick. So, but I want you to take the opportunity, Cisco, to be better. And if you choose, this is what Christian's telling me, I love you like a brother, because he really does. He calls me all the time. He says, I love you like a brother, but I'm telling you, if you do fight, I got to send you home, and you're going to lose your whole season worth of pay. I'm just like, whoa, okay, all right. That's what you got to tell me. So I was literally forced, like, hey, man, no, and I want to get into a fights anyway, you know what I'm saying? But it was, some of them were beyond my control because, the network saw, like, I wasn't provoking. I was just being provoked because other people just didn't want to, handle them, the right way. They just was reacting to the way I normally would. So, you'll still get a chance to see some action because, it definitely erupted a couple times. But, I had issues with so many people going into it, issues with Peter that were unresolved. You'll see that play out and we get into it. And Amina, and issues with Safari, I had an issue with Sin Santana, I had an issue with Zell Swag because, over Tierra, because that was his cousin and he didn't like, what was going on between us, not understanding that there was a lot that she was doing too. That was, it was like I had, everywhere I turned at one point in time or another, I had an issue with somebody. But like I said, it forced me to be a better person. And that'll be my takeaway, man. Just watch it and see if you can learn how to just be more mature. You know what I'm saying? And if you can't, hey, at least you'll be entertained,
What is the relationship that you walked away from after filming Family Reunions? You said, man, I'm glad I got that one back on track, or I'm glad I had the opportunity to really make amends with this person outside of Peter, outside of Rich. Is there one person you said, man, I'm so glad and grateful I had this opportunity to spend time with this person to be able to get back on track, or at least walk away knowing that we're on a better path moving forward?
I'll say this. I don't want to give too much of the show away. That might give too much away. But what I will say is that, I walked away. The person I guess that to me had such a great impact was somebody I didn't even know going into the island. I never even met before in my life, but she was such a breath of fresh air, and she was so amazing to just be around and breathe her energy, man. And we maintained such a close, brother sisterhood since then. Is Yo-Yo. So I want to shout out Yo-Yo, an amazing woman, amazing spirit. She's just good vibes, you know what I mean? And when I left Coronado, I went to LA. I was just like, I just need to go home, and I live in LA, now. So I'm just there and I'm just chilling. And she's just like, yo, what are you doing? Like, let me take you out. And he takes me to dinner. And next night, like, yo, come on, let's go to this comedy show. And she was just like, because I was still kind of coming out of, just getting back to being myself and trying to be happy again and stuff like that. So she was so, like I said, so inspirational and so amazing. So that's like I said, that's the one relationship that, like I said, I didn't even see coming into it that I would build. But I'm so grateful to have, Yo-Yo, big sis Yo-Yo, and the love she got from me, moving out off the island. Hold on, Joe, I'm losing you.
Yeah, right now, I appreciate you sharing all of that. Shout out to Yo-Yo. And shout out to you, man, for just wanting to take that step, putting aside pride and ego to want to be better, right? That's really the first step. So I appreciate that. Everyone that's watching, listening, take that step, man. Get pride and ego out of the way and take those steps necessary to heal those relationships and friendships that might have been broken for years. Cisco, we had the opportunity to play this game on the hip hop side of things, University of Dope, but they are back now with the R&B edition. So I know music is your thing, R&B is your thing. Cisco, we're going to play University of Dope, the R&B edition. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
Love this. I love this.
Cisco, the best baby making song from the following. Is it A, So Anxious, Genuine? B, When We by Tank? C, Say Yes by Floetry? Or D, Meeting in My Bedroom by Silk?
Favorite group of all time, Silk, but I love Little G. Shout out to them. But I got to be biased to this, on this question. Obviously, I was a part of his groom squad at his wedding. My big brother, Tank, I can never go against him. You know what I'm saying? He's going to win on any list that's ever put up in front of me. And he's also one of my favorite artists, man. And also one of my favorite artists to work with because we did work together and I produced and stuff for him as well. So, yeah, definitely When We, Tank.
All right. Can I get your number? Best song to shoot your shot, Cisco. Ooh. Is it A, Can We Talk, Tevin Campbell? B, Come and Talk to Me, Jodeci? C, Yo, Chris Brown? Or D, Just a Friend by Mario?
Can we talk for a minute? Girl, I want to know your... Yeah, definitely, can we? It's still to my day. Last night I saw you standing. And that was my joint, man. You know, I gotta go with Tevin Campbell.
See what this game pulls out? Y'all didn't even know Cisco had it. Y'all didn't even know Cisco had the vocals. Watch out.
Hey, man, I'm a musician, man. I'm a song producer. You know what I'm saying?
Pick one artist to bring back for one night only concert.
Oof.
A, Luther Vandross. B, Whitney Houston. C, Prince. Or D, Michael Jackson?
Because
Who is it? We can't hear you. Is it A, B, C, or D? Can't hear you. Go out and come back in. Got Cisco from VH1's Family Reunion, Loving Hip Hop, New York, Loving Hip Hop, Atlanta, Loving Hip Hop, Hollywood, and now Family Reunion, which features Rich Dollars, Peter Guns, and so many more. So he's here. We're playing University of Dope.
June, are we back?
We are back.
Okay, awesome.
So we didn't get your answer. If you can have him back for one night, is it A, Luther Vandross, B, Whitney Houston, C, Prince, or D, Michael Jackson?
Because I was fortunate enough to attend one of his, maybe his last or one of his last concerts before he passed away. And it was one of the most amazing experiences of my life. Definitely Luther Vandross, man. Saw him at the Apollo in Harlem and just mesmerizing performance.
Had to be magical. I'm certain
it was amazing. And like I said, and shortly after he passed away, you know, but I always remember that. I cherish that experience, man, because he's one of those guys that just as a kid, made me want to make music, specifically R&B, man. So definitely Luther Vandross.
All right. Best R&B soundtrack from the following. Is it A, Waiting to Exhale, B, Soul Food, C, Love Jones, or D, The Bodyguard?
Wow. Oh man, those are it. Those are the best. But if I had to pick one, I'm gonna go with the Love Jones soundtrack. Amazing records on it. There's a song on that soundtrack, I believe. I think it was just the whole album was dope.
The whole album is dope. And those are all great picks. All right, Cisco. I need you to really dig deep with this one. Creep Squad type of question. The best side chick anthem from the following, Cisco. Is it A, You're the One, SWV, B, As We Lay by Kelly Price, C, My Little Secret Escape, or D, The Weekend by SZA?
I'm gonna go with You're the One, SWV, man. I'm just an SWV fan. I love all their music, man. You know, You're Always on My Mind is probably
One of the
literally top
dopest.
3.
Shout out to Lily, Coco, and Taj, my sisters. All right. Make It Jingle, best R&B holiday song as we're going into the holidays, Cisco. Is it A, This Christmas by Donny Hathaway? B, All I Want for Christmas Is You, Mariah Carey? C, Let It Snow by Them Fellas, Boys and Men? Or D, Santa Claus Is Coming by Jackson 5?
Definitely, hands down. You gotta go, my man Donnie. Will be a very special Christmas.
Classic.
That's it.
Classic.
If that song comes on, you know it's the holiday time.
Which song would you leave on your crush's voicemail, Cisco? A, When I See You by Fantasia. B, Nothing Ever Matters, Lauryn Hill and D'Angelo. C, Swing My Way by KP and Envy. Or D, You Don't Know My Name by Alicia Keys?
Hands down. Oh, man. Top 3, top 4 for me, too. Nothing Even Matters. Lauryn Hill, D'Angelo. That's just the vibe. You can throw that on. It's just like, it's incense and baby oil time, man. That's just it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You know, I'm taking my shirt off. I hear that.
You just ordered an Uber. Which artist is showing up as your driver? Is it A, Bobby Valentino, C, Craig David? B, Craig David, C, Life Jennings, or D, Lloyd?
I produced a record with Bobby on it called Fugitive. We shot the video in Miami, and Bobby's a wild boy, you know. So I'm definitely gonna go with Bobby because I know we're gonna have a good time getting where we're going because he's a wild boy and he's funny as hell.
That's dope. Dopest duet from the following: A, My Boo, Usher and Alicia Keys. B, My First Love, Kiki Wyatt and Avant. C, Nobody, Keith Sweat and Athena Cage. Or D, Spend My Life, Eric Benet and Tamia.
And who can love you like? Definitely nobody. Nobody is just, when you just hear the strings in the beginning of that record, you know what I'm saying? Nah, I want it. That's it.
That's it. It's over.
That's it.
It's over.
Like that's everything making music at its best, June.
Everything
the vibes. I was like, whoa, I hear that. It's on.
Who won the duet battle from The Boy Is Mine? Was it A, Brandy, or B, Monica?
I gotta go with the homie, man. She's so cool and down to earth. I gotta go with Mo, man, Monica, for sure. Right. Shout out to Brandy too, man. But I love me some Monica.
Who had the worst R&B career? Was it A, Ashanti, B, Anne-Marie, C, Kerry Hilson, or D, Maya?
I hate to do this, but it's June, so I gotta answer the question. I can't duck or dodge. I gotta go with A. Marie, man, because there was so much potential in her, but I don't know what happened. I don't know the story, but that one song, and then it was nothing. All those other girls, they've had so many other, songs, and they just done other things. They kept themselves afloat, but A. Marie, man, that's just, I don't know what happened with that.
Super talented.
Crazy record and just disappeared.
Cisco, who would you have sing at your cookout? A, John B, Pink when she was black, C, Adele, or D, Justin Bieber?
My favorite song that's out right now is that a new Adele record, man. Oh my God, go easy on me. Definitely right now, I would have to dig out every pocket I got if I could make that happen, man. 100% Adele. Oh my God, I was vibing to it this morning, just on the way dropping the kids off. I'm just like,
she just rocking mac and cheese, the ribs on the grill, burgers and dogs,
and I want me some
Ladies
Adele.
And gentlemen, Adele.
Give me a Foster's beer and some Adele, and I'm in heaven.
Erase one group from R&B history. Who would it be? A, 112, B, Jodeci, C, Drew Hill, or D, Jagged Edge?
Damn, June. Wait, can you give me the options again, man? That was a tough one, man. I have to erase one
group from R&B history. A, 112, B, Jodeci, C, Drew Hill, D, Jagged Edge.
No disrespect. First off, Jodeci can never even be discussed. They're just the greatest. They're the greatest rock stars that ever lived. Let's just be clear. So that's not even a conversation. They are it. When they was in that desert with them leather jumpsuits, passing out, and
Fire.
then and they told me they were throwing water and waking up and got back and started singing, they were just rock stars forever. But if I had to, I would probably erase 112. Shout out to 112, but you know, I only really like one record that they had.
Erase one person from R&B history. If you had to, who would it be? A, Chris Brown, B, Neo, C, Justin Timberlake, or D, Usher?
Oof.
Tough
I
one.
think he's an amazing performer, but never really like the music is super cool, but just I don't know. So I probably sorry man, I probably have to go with Usher on that one. I just I can live without the music. You know what I'm saying? I need to live. I need I need your music to live, and I can live without his.
Got you. Last one, Cisco. If you had to erase one from R&B history, who would it be? A, Janet Jackson, B, Beyonce, C, Mariah Carey, or D, Whitney Houston?
Oof. If you had to, even though Let's Wait a While is also my jam, one of my best records. But if I had to, I can't. The other three are they're just too. They're it. They're like on the Mount Rushmore women of music, you know. So you can't touch Mariah, especially the Queen Bee, and Whitney birthed everybody, so you can't touch that. It's probably have to. Unfortunately, Jan will probably have to get kicked off the boat.
Oh man, listen. Cisco, thank you for playing University of Dope, the R&B edition. Listen, unpopular opinions are welcome. We love everybody in this game. It's just hip hop and R&B trivia, having fun. With that said, Cisco, music is a soundtrack to our lives, and we've had this conversation before.
For sure.
You have produced and worked on so many songs over the years, but if you had to pick one song that best represented your journey up to this point, which would it be? And it's a two-part question, but what song represents your journey up to this point?
Right now, it's probably that Adele record. I think that's why I connected to it so much because, the lyrics when she's saying like "Go easy on me." I was still a child. I didn't have a chance to feel the world around me. Just the lines. I'm a songwriter. I'm an artist. I'm a music producer. The lyrics to records to me is everything. It's my takeaway. So. I connect and relate to those lyrics so much because it's like I feel like I'm just now really coming into my own and becoming the person that I need to be, versus the person that I just was. I think there's who you are and who you need to be. And who you need to be is the best version of yourself. But it takes work to get from who you are to become who you need to be. Who you need to be for yourself, who you need to be for your children, who you need to be as an example and as a leader in your household and for your family. That takes work, man. It doesn't come easy. Being a man, there's no handbook for that. The true essence of being a man. I always tell people, if you have a kid, it makes you a father. If you raise that kid, then that makes you a dad. Anybody can be a father, right? When Maury says, "And who is the father?" and it's Jimmy, you're the kid's father, but are you going to be their dad? My kids call me daddy, because I'm a daddy. Daddy, daddy, daddy. That's daddy. It's like get your, but it's like there's a difference, man. And all those things are, takes a lot of work to really become, somebody that people can depend on and somebody that can guide a ship with children or family, so yeah, that definitely that's the record right now, man. Go easy on me, man, because forgive me for my past and my past indiscretions, man. I was a child, what I'm saying, but now I feel like I'm at my best, and I'm just excited about the future.
Man, that's dope. If you were stranded on a deserted island and you only were able to grab one album,
Oof.
who would that artist be? I'm not worried about the particular album, but you were only able to grab one artist to listen to their music. Who would that artist be, Cisco?
Because of the color and variety Uh, I don't. I probably would have to go with Jasmine Sullivan because she has such a range and color and variety. People don't realize, man, she gives so much in one bar of music. You know what I mean? With some of those riffs and runs that just slide up and down and belts and vibrato, and she does more in a bar than some people can do in their whole album, with just her ability. So for just the vibe, the color, the soulfulness of her music, man. If I'm on the island and I'm chilling, and I ain't got nothing else to do, I'm gonna figure out a way to become one with the water and the sand. You know what I'm saying? And I need a vibe to take me there, and that vibe is definitely Jasmine Sullivan. Shout out to you, boo. You are the queen. You are an amazing gift, man. I hope I get a chance to meet with you and maybe work with you one day. We'll see.
That's dope. That's dope. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cisco. Family Reunion is premiering, coming up on VH1 for the next couple of weeks into the new year. You need to be tuned in, locked in. As Cisco said, find the opportunity to mend some of those relationships. Be your best self. Try to find out the best version of yourself that you need to put out there, but surround yourself with people who are going to love you in the good times and the bad times. But in the meantime, work on yourself. Find that higher power to be your best self. And listen, that's Cisco. I'm June Archer. This is the Winner Circle Motivate You. Tell somebody you love them. It may be the last time you have the opportunity to do so. Cisco, we love you, brother. Keep
Thank you,
doing
man.
what
I
you're
love you
doing,
too,
man.
brother. I want to thank you, man. You really are. Seriously, man. You're amazing at what you do, man. I'm so glad that you're in this space. It's so needed. It's so positive. It's so uplifting, man. It's fun, man. You just created something so special, man, with your platform. I'm so happy for you, big brother. And I'm always here. You know what I'm saying? Whenever we could do anything together, man, because you're just an inspirational person, man. And I'm glad to have you around in my circle. And I should have added that. And if I didn't, I'm gonna add it again, man. My big brother June, man. June Archer. Thank you, brother. It's always good talking to you, man. And thanks to everybody for watching.
Likewise, we're going to do the same thing. Y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Like it, love it, share it. Make somebody's day by telling them that you love them. Peace.
Peace.